Hello everyone, myself Vaibhav. I welcome all of you to today's session of Visual JForex, in which we will be starting afresh with a new set of indicators. We will be using the combination of EMA along with the MACD to look for the opportunities in which we have good chance of making money rather than losing money. So that's what our goal is going to be while looking for optimum trade entry points in this formation using these two indicators. So let us now head to the Visual JForex board on which we will be trying to develop our algorithm. This has been a very useful platform. You can learn it in no time, and then you can use this Visual JForex platform to build your own algorithms to automate your trading. So that's a big development for traders by Dukascopy Bank SA. You will find these indicators listed amongst this panel of indicators. The EMA is included under the moving averages. So here comes the EMA, and for MACD we have to go nowhere. MACD is also among these moving average indicators. We have to define these four parameters depending on which we will be getting these output parameter. The EMA line. EMA stands for exponential moving average, and MACD we will be using along with that. We are going to make the formation on the hourly time frame. We will be using the hourly candlestick time period for defining our logical requirements for the execution of the trade. And in this session, we will be mainly concerned with the functional aspects of these two indicators, how we can use these two indicators for finding the opportunities to trade. So I will not go into the technical details of these two indicators. For that, you will have to refer to the earlier session which I had done during the introductory series if you want more details on EMA and the MACD. So now let us head to the JForex board, and here there is the Euro USD chart plotted on the hourly candle period. I will add the EMA indicator. There is the EMA 50. I will edit it, increase its width and style to make it more attractive to look at. That's about it. And we add one more EMA line. This I will change to 100. So we will be using the combination of 50 and 100 EMA. And let me also change the color combination here. Oh. All right, so we have these two EMA lines plotted on the hourly time frame of the Euro USD chart. Now we have to search for MACD, and here comes the MACD. Okay, so the formation is going to be fairly simple. We want to be trading with the trend, and for that we are going to rely on this combination of these two indicators. So for trend, we will be using the crossover structure. We want the 50 EMA line to be above the 100 EMA line for any buy trade execution to happen. And then we expect some correction to have happened in the underlying instrument, which has pushed the MACD line below the MACD signal line, and in the last 1 hour it is now rising again. It is crossing above the MACD. The MACD signal line, whenever crosses above the MACD line, that will be the indication that this might be the opportunity to go for a new trade. So that's what our formation is all about. So we need the crossover to happen in the MACD, and whenever the MACD crosses above MACD signal, that's when the initiation will happen, provided the 50 EMA is above the 100 EMA. And for any sell trade to execute, we need the EMA 50 to be below EMA 100, and then we will look to initiate the trade as and when the crossover happens in the MACD and the MACD signal line. We need the MACD line to cross below the MACD signal, and that's when the execution will take place, provided these MACD and MACD signal output are in negative territory. We need both of these output values to be in the negative territory, and only in that scenario the execution will go through. And for the buy trade, the vice versa condition will apply. The MACD and the MACD signal line, both these values will need to be above zero. That is the requirement, that this output value should be in positive territory. Okay, so you got the point, I guess. And along with that, we can also add one condition, that the initiation of the trade should happen only in the starting point, the initiation period. So we can also define the hours during which the execution should happen after this crossover happens. So if you want to limit this kind of scenarios where we get the trade in the sell side after substantial run has already happened. So to avoid that kind of scenario, you can put in the condition that the trade execution should happen only within first 25 hours of this crossover happening. So if you put in that condition, only on the first day of the crossover the execution will go through. So we will define this formation in such a way that only during the first 25 hours the execution should go through. Okay, so that's how we are going to define these conditions for the execution of the trade. Now we head back to the Visual JForex board, and where we will have to get the blocks in place, the indicator and the info blocks, as well as the logical blocks to define the conditions. So we start with the instrument subscription first. For that, I am going to need logical blocks. So I am going to add this if blocks first. We use on candle as the start point. So here I will add default instrument. Default instrument will be Euro USD. And we will match the default instrument with the candle instrument. And then the candle instrument will have to be matched with the instrument of choice, which is of course the Euro USD. If you want to work with a different instrument, you can do that as well. But this time around, we are sticking with the most favorite of our instrument. It also has the highest liquidity. Okay, here it is. Then I will define the position amount condition. The position amount, all position amount should be equal to 0 to make sure there is no existing pending or open position already on the account, to avoid doubling down of any trade. Then we change this to hourly. The look back period will be 1, the time period will be 50. All right, then we need 4 more of these EMA blocks. So I am going to look at these input parameters which we need to define carefully to get the instrument condition that the execution should go through only during the initial first 25 hours of the crossover. This will be turned to hourly. Look back period of 1 again. Time period of 100 this time. So we are going to use crossover of 50 and 100 EMAs. Here, the candle period will be changed to hourly. The look back period will be 25 as we are looking at the data 25 hours back. So whatever is the crossover currently, the opposite of it should have been true 25 hours back. Look back period of 50, sorry, time period of 50, and here in this case time period of 100. Okay, now we turn our attention to the MACD output values. We are going to define the MACD also in crossover format. So we are going to need 4 MACD blocks as well of the hourly candle period. So this is going to be changed to hourly with the look back period of 1. Alright, so I am going to add 4 of these MACD indicator blocks. 1, 2, and 3 more. Okay, that's it. Now coming to defining of these input parameters, this will be changed to hourly. All these 4 MACD indicator blocks are going to be hourly time frame. Okay, and the look back period will be 1 and 2 respectively. And to make sure that we don't really end up avoiding, we don't really get involved in zigzag kind of formation, we will define this look back period of 5. So it should have been in the opposite direction of whatever it is in the last hour prior 5 hours back. So I will define this look back period of 5, and I think we don't really need this one more extra block to define the crossover system. So I have removed it. Okay, so here it is. Now we also have to consider the price action data. For that we need info candles. So I'm going to take get historical candle 1, 2, 3, and 4. First two will be defined for the hourly candle period, and latter two will be for 10 seconds each to consider the price volatility data prior to the execution of the new trade. Now coming to the default candle period. This is going to be defined as hourly, again hourly, up, and this will be changed to 10 seconds with the look back period of 1 and 2 respectively. Here this will be of 10 seconds and the look back period will be 1 and 2 respectively. Okay, so with this we have put in place the indicator blocks and the info blocks to define the conditions using this formation of EMA crossover and the MACD. So for the day, we stop here, and in the subsequent session, I will be explaining to you how we can get the execution done using these indicators for defining the conditions for the buy trade first, and then subsequently we will also deal with the sell side of the equation using this formation. So that's it from my side for today's session. If you have any query or any idea to share, you can write to me in the feedback section. For further coverage of the market developments, do check out the Dukascopy Analytics page. We are also available on the Facebook. You can reach out to us there for carrying out the testing on the historical data and also to experience the world-class trading platform. You can check out the JForex platform for which the link has been provided in the bio. So thank you all for joining in. See you next time around. Till then, goodbye.